welcome to Ellen's Crochet Channel. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2026. So welcome to an episode of Frog a Knit and Friday Finds. Yes. So I want to welcome my subscribers and say I appreciate you coming back, watching my videos and leaving comments. And I hope that you will make it to, on Tuesdays, I do a live on my channel at 6 p.m. Eastern time, where, you know, if you're a subscriber, you're welcome to come in and join on the chat. So today's Friday, and I have a frog a knit and a Friday find. One small finished project, a few makes that I've started. So it's just gonna be a little bit of everything. So let's get to the Friday find. Last Saturday, I was doing a little retail shopping with the Hat Queen, and we went to one of her favorite places, which is Five Below. And, sometimes they have those little crochet kits, knit kits. But I saw this kit, and let me show you what it is. It's the Craft Your Own Bouquet. The company is, it looks like Avec. Okay, and supposedly it would create a bouquet that would be about 18 inches with all of these different flowers. And it comes with the acrylic yarn, the eyelash yarn, because this little flower has eyelash yarn, fiber fill, floral wire for the stems, wires, crochet hook, darning needles, and instructions. The only thing it says is the vase is not included. So I thought, I'm seeing it on the shelf, and the little price that was underneath said $6, and I said, oh, this has to be in the wrong spot. There's no way that this big kit is $6. But I picked it up, I went to the register, and there were only 2 left. And sure enough, it rang up for $6. So I said, okay. Now, the reason I bought it is because I wanted to make this, I don't think I was gonna make all of this whole bouquet. This is very intricate. It says it's a difficulty of 4 out of 5. I have made crochet flowers. But, with all the contents, it was certainly worth $6. So you see the orange flower. That's what I really wanted to make out of this. Now, granted, I could go on YouTube and find a tutorial for a flower, but, and I'm sure I have most of these colors somewhere in my stash, but I figured for $6, you get all the other goodies with it. Let me give it a try. So I opened the box and was pleasantly surprised with all of the contents. Okay, I did put this in this bag. It didn't come in this bag. Okay, this is all the yarn, all the different colors, because, I didn't want it to get messed up. And it comes with this sheet. It tells you it's got 16 colors of yarn, and even gives you little stitch diagrams if you're a new person with newbie for crochet. And if you could read that, good luck. So that are the different patterns for the different flowers. So I said, oh, this is gonna be a joy. I'll be knitting with my power magnifying glasses. But not knitting, crocheting. But I continued on opening what's the contents that is in the box. It also came with a little bit of fiber fill, because obviously one of the flowers gets fiber fill, a little darning needle. Okay. Came with a crochet hook. Okay, I think this is a 3.0. Kind of your generic crochet hook. Okay, the wire stems for the flowers. I mean, if I had to just buy the wire for stems, and there's a lot of wire here. If anybody does crafting, the wires, this alone is probably about $5. So, it's some pieces that are already cut, and some in a, what would you call this? A bobbin of green wire. So, unbelievable value, I think, for all the contents. There's also on the box, I'm not going to show it, but there's 2 QR codes. One of the QR codes sends you to a YouTube where there's stitch tutorials for the different stitches that you would need, and the other QR code sends you a video tutorial for each of the different flowers that you would need to make. So I think you do need that QR code to open up the YouTube tutorial. So I did try and get into it without the code, and you can't. But which the stitch tutorials I think are really great for somebody that may get this kit. Again, it's only $6, and I'm not affiliated with this in any way. But my final thought. So, as I said, I wanted to make that orange flower here with the eyelash yarn. And I'm reading the directions, you know, all the pattern recipes. And I don't see that flower listed anywhere here. And that's the most prominent flower on the bouquet. So there were no written directions for that specific flower. So I said, okay, let me go check the YouTube link. They had one for every flower except for the one I wanted to make. But in any case, I will find a tutorial somewhere where I can make that flower. But anyhow, this was my Friday find. A great deal, you know, because those woo-woo kits are like, and you get like one little animal or something, they could be $30 for $6. I thought this was a great buy, even if the pattern for the one flower I want wasn't there. But in any case, Five Below, if you have a Five Below near you, and you are doing those amigurumis for the patch, I would guess that this would qualify you. But in any case, it's the Crochet Your Own bouquet. Now, I have seen these in Barnes & Noble. I go there very often, and they have like a craft section. And crochet kits in Barnes & Noble, they're everywhere. And they're like $25 each. I would guess this one might be there. But as I said, distributed by AVAC International of the Netherlands, and it's made in China. But for $6 at Five Below, I think it's a great deal. Even if you use the yarn for other amigurumis, if you do make flower stems and so on, has everything that you need. It's a great deal. I think it's a good deal, even though that pattern that I wanted wasn't anywhere in the kit. That's what happens when you buy Five Below and Dollar Store. Although I don't go to Dollar Store anymore. I try not to. Not to say that I don't with the Hack Queen, because she likes the coloring books and stuff there. I also went last week to, talking about dollar stores, there's a Korean, I believe it's Korean, store. Actually, this says made in China, but it's Daiso, D-A-I-S-O. It's like a little, I want to say it's a $2.25 below and above store. But, and they had these, and I saw Amy from Hooked on Wishing, Amy, she showed these on her channel for those that knit, okay? And they just put these out. I looked for them last year, and they didn't have them in my Daiso, but it's by the school supply stuffs, because everybody's getting ready to go back to school. And they're little finger grips. And I'm telling you, these have really been helpful. You know, I've been knitting, which brings us back to Frog Knit Friday. And I knitted this sweater, okay? It's not gonna fit me. I was ready to put on the sleeves. I really enjoy the pattern, but, and I thought, you know, maybe I'll give it to my daughter. But to be honest with you, there are a few mistakes in it, and I thought, I'm gonna make it over. I'm gonna make it over, and I didn't wanna honestly waste this yarn. This is beautiful yarn. This is Bag O' Days hand-dyed yarn, and the color was, I think it was tonal teal, something like that. So I've decided I don't want to waste this beautiful yarn. If it was acrylic, I would continue with the sleeves and probably put it in a donation, for a donation, but I wouldn't want to donate something that was wool. You know, we have, the church takes donations, only because someone who may receive it maybe allergic to wool and not be able to wear it. So I said, I am going to take back my wool. So that's what this is, frog knit. I'm gonna frog my knit Friday. But yeah, it was a lot of work. I got pretty much done other than the sleeves. But I'm gonna frog it. I'm gonna reuse the yarn. And I'm gonna start this pattern again. But yeah, I learned a lot. And I actually started another knit top. This is a free pattern, this here one, and it's on Yarnspirations. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's the Karen top down knit pullover. So it's like a t-shirt. It's gonna be like a you'll see it there. Just like a little cap sleeve t-shirt knit, very easy. Actually, the skill level is easy, and it is very easy. And it's, I think it's coming out fine. You know, if anything, it may be a little big, but that's okay. Because I'm just using yarn that I had in my stash, the Karen Cotton Cakes. Okay, and this color is Beach Glass, and it's a cotton acrylic, you know, those, it's the smaller cotton cake cakes. Yeah, I have bigger ones that that have like almost 500 yards. This only has 200 and I think it's 220, 211 yards. And I have 4 of these, and I think that'll be enough. If not, I know I can still get this color, but either that or I may just have to do the band on the bottom and a solid. But yeah, so it's coming out pretty. I like the colors, a little like summer knit. And as I said, it'll just be a little cap sleeve, quick and easy. I want to finish my first knit sweater. And as I said, I decided to do it in an acrylic. So if it doesn't fit, I won't feel bad having to, you know, give it away. Or, you know, find somebody else that can wear it, because it's a cotton acrylic. But so pretty. I love this color, Beach Glass. The beach is my favorite place. So, yeah, so that's my frog knit. The only thing else I've worked on is I'm almost done with my 4th stripe, finally, on my American throw. Yes, I think that's it. Bonnie Bay Crochet. So I'm finally almost done with that row number 4, the woven stitch. Hope to have that row done this weekend so I can get to moving on with my blanket. So yeah, I know I had put a date of July 31st. And some of my subscribers have finished their blankets, and Stacy finished hers, and she put a picture of it on my community tab. You have to go see it. She did a fabulous job. Yes. So my crochet along will end on September 20th, so you have plenty of time. And if you do make my blanket, it qualifies for the patch for the summer crochet along, hosted by Rainy from the Woolly Llama. But yeah, this is gonna be a beautiful blanket when I get done. But it's been very hot, very hot summer. Sometimes it's just too hot, even if you're sitting in air conditioning, to imagine a heavy blanket on you. But so that's pretty much it. If you've been watching the Duck Duck dishcloths from Missy from Missy's Yarniverse and More, you know, my little evil twin there. I did this week, well, this was for last week. You had the choice to, you know, because the Quackins arrived, to pick a pattern that you've made before and remake it. So I chose to do the Faucet Angel again. The first time I did it in white cotton, and this was a 4-weight. So I said, I'm gonna try it in the 3-weight, and it came out just as beautiful. So it's just a little smaller, but I really enjoyed this pattern. Yep. And I'm looking at my finger as I'm talking, and I'm like, you started talking about that finger grip, and then you went on to something else. So the reason for the finger grips, Okay, there's 5 in each pack. They were $2.25. And they have saved my finger because when I am, the tips of my knitting needles are very sharp. And, I kept hitting it, hitting it. And I was like, oh, after a while, it gets a little painful. These are great. And they're not intrusive. You don't feel like you have anything intrusive on your finger. It's just there and very helpful. So for those that are beginning to knit, just a little tidbit, little helpful hint. You can get these if you have a Daiso. They are finger grips. You find them in the by the school supplies. But you probably get something very similar on Amazon. I think Laura, Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, said she uses something similar that she got on Amazon. But they're very helpful. Little finger grips, especially if you're making socks, with those double pointed needles. It's helped a lot. Haven't done any work on my socks. But okay, so that's my quick update, kind of ramble. And I know I haven't posted much lately this summer. It's been busy, been doing a lot of work around the house and haven't had much time. But I am getting some things done. But this is the kitchen faucet and my new knit project. And soon to be frog knit. But thanks for watching. I hope everyone had a wonderful week, that you have a wonderful weekend ahead, and that you're staying safe. And I will see you probably on Tuesday for my live. Not really sure if I'll have anything else to talk about this weekend. Maybe. We'll see if I record something on Sunday. But Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel, I will be going live. If you'd like to join in chat, we have a lot of fun. And again, Five Below, this bouquet, create your own bouquet, crochet kit, $6. But okay, that's it. Take care. Thanks again for watching and leaving comments, and I will see you on the next one. Bye now.